number one.
Jimmy, he's being a cheap ass. You know, I'm like,
Wow.
damn.
You heard it here first. Joe Rogan listens to our podcast.
Right, we're the best. You know, they say people that cuss are more honest. So I'm an honest motherfucker. Put the fish away, Reggie.
It don't even hurt to give birth anymore.
Not for me.
Nothing to it.
Okay.
Let's do it. Come on. I'm ready. I'm ready. I want to do it.
I wear a thong. I got one on right now. You want to see?
Jimmy and Gee. Madhouse Bar Talks, baby.
That is a bunch of shit, if you ask me. That makes no sense.
Good morning. We're number one.
Jimmy, he's being a cheap.
Stop.
I don't see his on.
You're on. I didn't go on. I started recording before I went live, but it's on. It's there. We've been live for 20 seconds now. Something to that effect.
Can't find it anywhere. All right, whatever.
It's there. The week now, we're right between Christmas and New Year's, right in the middle.
What you got planned for New Year's?
I think I'm going to do a prime rib dinner.
There you go.
What do you think?
Prime rib's good.
Everybody's asked me. I've had like four. Well, I say everybody, like four people ask me.
The whole world. Is this up? Can you hear me again?
I think so. I don't know. Should be able to. Why? Well, you said that. That's funny because you just told me to turn your mic down or your headphone down, and then now you're saying you can't hear. But last week you had me lift it up.
That's good.
So maybe just the music is too loud. Maybe I don't know. It's possible.
Whatever.
Possible.
So, what'd you think of last week's
podcast? We did pretty good on that one. It went well. I feel like we were a little rough on him. Maybe.
You got a mouse in your pocket?
Well, I didn't mean to. Well, you were there too. You were asking some crazies.
I might have been. It's not
the same.
I ain't saying the way. It's not what you're asking. It's how you're asking it.
A little aggressive.
Not on my end. Yeah.
I didn't mean to. Actually, I think the world of Antonia Baez, but I just thought it was odd that, like, I just don't like hearing that from leaders when it's all about let's get community centers or whatever, and nobody's worried about wages and
Yeah, you're talking about what you're gonna do instead of just doing something.
yeah. I don't know. I don't like that. It's just the problem is that Lorain, even when we were kids, like Lorain was like there was poor people. I was one of them. You know what I mean? I lived in the projects and stuff like that. But I mean, there were so many people that were working at Ford or the mill or the shipyards or there was other jobs at the railroad.
I've heard those stories of these old guys. They'd quit the mill, go to Ford, quit Ford, go back to the mill.
My dad was one of them. Yeah, my dad was one of them.
You couldn't do that shit now.
No, yeah, and the thing is,
You
it's
get
like
one of them jobs, you're holding on to that.
yeah, for sure. But there's not like that's missing in Lorain, and they keep wanting to put like help the poor people. Like, you know how you help poor people? Get them a fucking job where they aren't poor no more. You know what I mean? And that's the problem. I don't feel like anybody's trying to do that. Everybody's trying to build community centers and food banks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I
agree.
And then when he said what we really need is a community center, it's like it feels like that's the last thing we need.
Right.
It just kind of like crawled, and it just was. And I can't control myself sometimes when I get hot.
Yeah.
But what about Ogle coming in? That was something else, wasn't it?
That was so aggravating.
He told me, he goes, I got so excited. I seen him up there, so I just ran up. And I was like, what?
I got an idea. Let's put a podcast on top of a bar.
Yeah. It'll be great. There'll be no problems with that. How can that be a problem?
Oh, that shit was funny.
Yeah, we might have to start locking the door up.
I was like, just go sit over there. There's a mic and headphones and everything. You go sit. Get
Actually, I think we handled it wrong. I think that our audience would rather Ogle came up here, and especially like that. He was drunk at like 10:30 in the morning.
Oh, yeah.
He's already bloated. I think our audience
Like,
would
try to
appreciate
have a
us
real
to actually have a
conversation
conversation with them.
That's why I
think
told
that would
him,
have probably
sit
been
down.
better. Yeah, that would have probably been better.
I was like, there's some headphones and stuff. Mike over there.
Oh, I was dying laughing. You're like freaking talking to him. Your mic's like this.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, dude, I look like I'm in jail.
Oh, it's hilarious.
Yeah, I did it like, what, 3 times? 2
Yeah.
times? I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like Antonio Baez, I was a little rough on him. I have to apologize. I didn't mean to be so rough on him. I didn't mean that per se. But you know, it's funny. We've gotten a lot of comments on the YouTube shorts and stuff like that, especially the one about the 18 an hour, which I'm wrong. I think when I said that, I said it was like $650. We can't even take home $650 a week at 18 an hour. But anyways, there's a guy, he's going, oh, he's all over that page telling me, you don't understand how the American economy works. We're going to price. It's like, you're out of your mind, dude. Like, I mean, this guy's on there talking about how we can't sell our goods to anywhere else because we're too overpriced. So therefore, we're ruining ourselves in the world economy and our power as a power structure. It's like, okay, if wages play such a heavy thing, and tariffs play such a heavy deal on all these profits or all these prices that they are, why is it 10 years ago things were 3 times cheaper and wages were the same? Explain that to me. No tariffs since then. No wages have went up since then. So somebody please explain it to me. I mean, never mind that like CEOs are making $500 million a year as a bonus.
Right.
I mean, that doesn't have anything to do with it. Like, get the fuck out of here. I'm tired of hearing their bullshit.
Well, like, look at Amazon. Of course he's making all that money. He's paying everybody peanuts.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's a model that I can't even believe he actually shows profit with as fast as he expanded. Like, I mean, just the fact that look how many vehicles and buildings, right. And I mean, that's a lot of money went out, dude. Like, for him to even show profit is amazing to me. Like, I don't even know how he did that. But I'm not even talking on that factor. Like, an owner with a good product, but these CEOs that, like, are making bank like that, which they're just like running the company. And they're probably not even that good at it. You probably have to go to the owner when you really need something figured out. and then you tell these other guys, oh, and the thing is, I think that the guy I'm talking to on there, I get the vibe that he's not like, he doesn't have wealth or anything. He's not like a business. I get that vibe from everything he's talked about. Like, it's just like,
oh, you're interacting with them?
Oh yeah, I did. I mean, nicely. I haven't been mean at all. But he was. I mean, he's just on there like going, oh, the world economy, you don't understand it, and it's like, I understand it just fine. The people act like the world economy is any different than business. Business is exactly the same. It's just a larger scale. And I'm not saying you don't understand the whole main principle of it, but you understand you have to, you have to be nice to people sometimes just because you need them in business. I mean, I get all these things, but to say that nobody can afford American goods because of wages, that's just bullshit. It's first of all, regulation plays more of a part of it than anything, probably.
Yeah.
I mean, you see the construction nowadays. I mean, compared to 20 years ago, 30 years ago, I mean, all the freaking, like, you got to have vest on and PPE and all this stuff. That's just all unnecessary ridiculousness.
That's like us. I get it. Like, if you're in the building, you're pouring concrete or something. Pull in the building, you're pouring concrete in the building. There's people over top of you, No. We're outside going to wash your truck. A safety guy will come up to you. Where's your hard hat? You're like, looking around, there's nothing overhead. It's like, that's more dangerous, I think. You're leaning in the truck, your hat's falling, you're trying to catch it.
Oh, well, you try being a ceiling or a framing guy. When we're up in the air having to keep hard hats on, we bang our head on bar joists and shit all the time. I mean, we bang our hard hat on it. I never banged my fucking head up there when I didn't have a hard hat. Maybe once in a while, but it wasn't heavy and hard. You know what I mean? Like it just now it's like you're constantly catching it on something.
That's like
It's
false
stupid.
safety. I understand it. Some areas, you know what I'm saying? There's
Yeah.
stuff going on above you. You want to wear a hard hat. You're out in the middle of a field washing the end of your truck off. Why would you want a hard hat on?
Right, and that's the shit that they
And they will fine you for it or kick you off the job.
Oh yeah, and they won't even hold Amish people to that
Right.
standard. That's what really bugs me. Like for years, that's bugged me. Like we actually got fined years ago. We were building a Jamestown Professional building in Westlake, and I was doing the metal studs and the interior, which the whole exterior of that building is metal studs. And we're doing it, and Brandon goes up, or Wade, or somebody, one of the two, went up on the lift to grab everybody at lunchtime because, you didn't have the ladders or stuff. We just been using a lift to go up and down. And OSHA shows up and freaking gives me a fine because they all get in the basket and come down without the harness on. Meanwhile, there's like 18 Amish people up on the roof flying trusses and plywood. Nobody's got anything on.
Nobody's tied down.
And they don't even do nothing to them. Like, what are you kidding me? That just goes to show you it's fake safety. It just doesn't make sense. It's all fake. It's all fake safety.
I wonder if
90% of it anyway.
I wonder if the people that make the safety vests and helmets and stuff push for them laws like lobbyists.
Of course they do. They have to, right? I mean, somebody does. Of course they have to. And that's the thing. Like, that's like an OSHA law to like have all these different things in play. Then it takes OSHA, like it takes an act of Congress to remove it out of there now. And they're just not going to do it because who's going to go in Congress go, I don't want people to be safe.
Yeah, somebody gets hurt and they're
right. Exactly. They're just not going to do it, and it's just ridiculous. And they've went too far with it. I mean, I'm not saying, and that's just in my business. I mean, I'm certain that factories and everything else have way other different issues. You know what I mean? They have all these safety issues, but yet they have employees like working in 800-degree factories that are, you know what I mean, sweatshops essentially.
There's some salt tablets in there.
Right.
Remember that shit?
Yeah, I remember. Poor Nikki. Remember Nikki that used to work here? Uh-huh. She went to work somewhere. She said it. It's in Rydell, but she said it's real hot wherever she's at.
Yeah, remember she was skinny as hell, and then she came back.
Still is.
She came back even skinnier. I was like, how is that possible?
Yeah, she didn't have no weight to lose.
Yeah.
But my mom, I know where she's at. Same thing. Like they don't like that. Well, I don't know if this one. I think it might have been her last job. It was real hot. Maybe not this one. It might not have been this one. But I mean, it's fake safety. That's what it is. And
it is.
And that regulation, they don't have none of that shit in China. They don't have none of that. And then they go, oh, they're killing us because of wages. That's a trick. They're tricking you so that you don't want more money. That's That's the belief.
Yeah,
but what it has to do with
CEOs
more
and everybody else is getting $1 million bonuses. Who deserves $1 million bonuses?
Right.
Multi-million, not $1 million.
No, I mean, we should do that. We should go through and see, like, we should go through and look and see, like, say, GE or Ford or something, like what their bonuses is and how many employees they have. Like, that's the thing. Like, the bonuses could literally be split up, or the wages on that CEO could be split up to where you would triple the income probably of each employee, which is insane to me. So to say that there's no money for wages, that's just ignorant in my opinion. I mean, but they've got everybody convinced of that.
Oh yeah,
they do have them convinced of it. And there's an argument. Like there's an argument. I get the business owner's argument. Like, okay, you invest, you put the money in, you do it, but at the same time, you can't be too greedy. You know what I mean? To where, because the whole economy is going to fail if that's what because right now we're ready to fail. I mean, as far as the cost of everything, people can't. I mean, housing and all that. The things are just outrageous. And Canada's worse. Like in Canada, I guess you're getting a shack for $1 million in Canada, and I guess they tax them more. Oh, they're saying like that's starting to like great gate like the Trump saying make them the 51. They're saying that like people in Canada are like, yeah, we should do that. Like our taxes would be less. Our housing, like they said, everything's too unaffordable over there. Like $1 million, they're saying is really a shack.
They don't want nothing to do with us. You serious?
Why wouldn't they want to be a superpower? And you'd be even more of a superpower.
Independence is nice too, though.
But you're talking about independence to a free country. I mean, it's not like you're going to Russia or you're going to China or you know what I mean or I mean, you're going to a free country, like, and it's not even like there's a boundary, like Mexico. The citizens are very different. They have very different religious beliefs. Like they're very different. Mexicans are very different than Americans. Canadians and Americans are pretty much the same thing. I mean, pretty much. I mean, that's not like their belief systems and stuff. You know what I mean? Are pretty much. I mean, they like hockey, which is kind of weird, but
I've never in my life sat down and watched the whole game of hockey.
I've went to hockey games. They're fun. Like if you go to Monsters Hockey, you'd love it. But watching it on TV is horrible. But like going to the actual game was a blast. It's like watching a
ping pong game. I like playing ping pong, but I ain't sitting there watching it.
It was pretty awesome watching hockey. Like we went. Amanda's dad's like somebody he works with or something, I think gave us tickets. Me and Dylan, and we went to the game, and it was pretty awesome actually. We enjoyed it. And I'm not a hockey fan, but I enjoyed it.
That's definitely like golf. I can't sit there and watch.
No, it's not like golf, dude. It's so intense. Like they're slamming into each other, knocking each other around.
I'm saying playing golf's fun, but watching it's horrible.
Oh. I could watch golf too, though. I could watch any sport. I could watch synchronized swimming. I mean anything. I love watching sports. Okay. But I've got a man card. Do you want to borrow it?
Hey, do you took the videos, huh?
On Riverside? Yeah.
Did you put them out there already?
No, I didn't. I waited for the podcast.
Oh.
I was waiting for us to bring them up on the podcast. So you've been talking about that, the Riverside, how bad the roads are. I have like the videos right here. Let me, I'll see if I can pull them up real quick. Hold on now. Get over here. All right, there we go. Rewind them. So this is like, I'll give everybody the backstory. So this is Homewood, which is a neighborhood, what, a mile from here?
Yeah, if that, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's like a mile from here. So this is Homewood, and you keep complaining, and you actually brought it up to
Tony.
Antonia Baez when we were doing the thing. So you keep talking about going there and you haven't. So I went ahead and I drove through there and I recorded some video. Now it's wild to me because I went through there, dude. It's like the curbs are actually heaving up. Like the actual curb. I thought you were talking about like potholes.
No.
But it's actually like the curbs that are actually
popped up,
like they're heaved up. I mean, it's unreal. Like if you look at like, let me see if I can try and stop it here right where it's at. Like there's a nice little one right there. You could see that's smaller though, per se. I mean, that's still 3 inches that's heaved up right here. But some of them are like over a foot. They're heaved up. I mean, it is absolutely insane, like how bad it is. And it's going into these people's driveways. It's all busted up.
Yeah, so then their aprons are tore up from it coming up.
Oh, it's crazy. I mean, I was going through there, and I'm like,
that's a good picture there.
I couldn't believe how bad it was. Like, if you look right here, let me go back one frame. If you look right here, as I'm coming up to this one, you can see, I mean, this is literally like maybe, I don't know, 18 inches up.
Can you put it on that one?
18 inches up? No, I cannot. Okay. It's like literally 18 inches up where it's heaved up right there. And nobody's doing anything about this. It's crazy. And then I seen I think it's on this last one right here. This is the one where you were talking about, I believe, right here, which is where you were talking about the makeshift deals that they were
ramps.
like they got ramps in there. Like they just poured some concrete to help themselves get in their driveway. But I mean, these pictures don't do it justice. That curb right there, that's a curb. It's probably like, I don't know, how thick is a curb technically usually?
A curb?
Yeah, like 8 inches?
Yeah, something like that.
This thing is triple a curb right there. I mean, you're looking at it's triple a curb. And it's heaved up like that right in front of these people's house.
And it's been like that for years.
That's wild. I couldn't believe it when I drove through there. Because I haven't been back in that area since I was a kid. You know what I mean? And there goes another good one right there, too. That's like, if you watch it right, I spin around right here. And then there's another one that'll, when I spin around, you'll see this heave right here, too. That's just heave. I mean, that's a perfect example right there. These are everywhere throughout that neighborhood. I mean, absolutely everywhere. Just heaved up. I mean, how is that? And this is like, it's weird because then as you're driving through that neighborhood, like when you get to the very back of that neighborhood, the very, very back, all paved and stuff. Like it's all perfect, brand new. Like they started doing it. I mean, it's beautiful. Like it looks great. And it's like,
how did these people fall off, fall
yeah, like is that just like the old school people that still vote?
Did somebody piss somebody off and they're like, we're not doing your block for 30 years?
Yeah, how do you drive past that? Like
right.
You almost think, did the road construction crews destroy the roads on the way to fix that back there?
That thing's been tore up. Well, hopefully just bring the attention to it. It'll get it fixed.
Yeah, that's nuts. I mean, you told me it was bad, but when I seen it, I was like, this is ridiculous. I mean, and like you say, it's a neighborhood where, that it's houses. It's not like the ghetto. It's like middle class neighborhood in Lorain. Like it's, or it was anyways when I was a kid. I don't know if it's considered middle class now.
It's a nice neighborhood. There ain't nothing wrong with that neighborhood, but the street. Then you talk about why people move out of Lorain. That if you live there for that long and your street can't get fixed.
Well, how long has it been like that?
Oh, come on. That thing ain't from like 4 years. That's way longer than that.
Yeah, I don't understand it. I never seen nothing like that, dude. No. I didn't know curbs would even heave like that.
I don't know.
Not like that.
Well, whatever. Fix that shit.
I would have never.
It's only a couple blocks, really. It's not.
It's quite a bit, dude. I drove through there. That's all different areas. All 4 of those images are different areas. All 4 of those videos.
Well, those areas need fixed. They're not big areas, is what I'm saying.
No, they're not. No, they're not. I wouldn't call them big areas. No, I wouldn't say they're big areas.
Look at that. That's not acceptable. If you live there, that is not acceptable.
No, I wouldn't. I would agree with that. That is not acceptable.
Yeah.
And you couldn't. We wanted an answer out of Antonia Baez for that, but we never got it.
Well, they were going to throw a party and talk about it.
No, come on, be nice to Antonia.
Yeah, they were going to have a party and discuss it.
Come on. You got to be nice to him.
I am nice to him.
Are you though?
I always talk nice to him. I never said nothing disrespectful to him. I didn't scream at him or nothing.
I didn't scream at him. Did I? Did I scream at him?
Yeah, you screamed at him.
Did I really? Well, that makes me mad with the freaking
I wish you'd have had these pictures.
Stuff.
I wish you'd have had these, which is my fault, 100%. But I wish you'd have had these pictures when he was here.
To show him, to show him the videos. Well, the thing is, too, is it's like they did all that cleanup on 28th Street. Like and I get it. That's the main thoroughbred. But they didn't do anything that really fixed anything. It was more sweeping and like weeding and mowing grass and like maybe a little bit of paint. Like that shit's all grown back in by now. It's not like they fixed anything really. You know what I mean? It was just like that was maintenance. That wasn't, you know what I'm saying? Like not even maintenance. It was
fixing the problem. It's putting lipstick on it.
Yeah, it's like at your house. It's cutting your grass. It's not maintenance. It's just like what you have to do. That's what's expected. Yeah. You know what I mean?
And why would they have to do that anyways? Wasn't that like city area?
What's that?
That area you're talking about they cleaned up.
It was all down 28th. They went right down 28th Street, like the sidewalks and stuff like that, and weeded it and like weed whacked along the fences and like cleaned that. I mean, I'm not saying it didn't need done. I'm just saying that should just be on a regular system. Like the maintenance department should be, or the city department should just be constantly doing those things, especially on your main thoroughfare. Like you say, 21st Street or the hospital there on 21st and the Old Hills,
Oakland Park.
Those are the main thing. Those are the first thing people see coming into that city, and nobody seems to give a shit. You know what I mean?
I don't know.
I mean, you get downtown Elyria, and they've got some rundown buildings down there, but downtown Elyria doesn't look rundown when you go through there. I mean, it's not the greatest, but it's not rundown.
Yeah, just like that building, Uncle Vic's. They tore that down right away. They didn't just leave it sitting there like they did St. Joe's.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good analogy.
How long has that been like that in St. Joe's? That's horrible.
But that was a fire hazard, wasn't it? Or a safety hazard is why they had to tear that down. Uncle Vic's, it was unstable.
So you don't think that's a health or hazard over there?
No, it was a locked up building. It wasn't like it was like you could get in it. Once Uncle Vic's caught on fire, like that was a...
Yeah.
I mean, people could have got in there and
but
got
I'm saying
hurt.
You got that,
know what I mean?
You got that parking lot that people go in there and, it's just dangerous.
They do? They go in there?
Oh, I'm sure.
Really?
Well, look at all. Okay, think about it. Them windows way up high. How are they busted out? Somebody didn't throw a rock that high.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it is Lorain. It could have been a gun. I mean, you know what? I remember years ago before they redid the antlers. I remember walking back behind there.
And they had that fence to catch the rocks falling from the top.
Oh, God, yeah, the net that they had to stop the building that was crumbling down. No, I'm talking about in the back. Like, they have a parking deck back there. There was, like, homeless people living back there. But you could see concrete chunks and shit coming down. It's like that was not a good place for homeless people to be. Wake up in the middle of the night, or not even wake up, just fucking get your head smashed in the middle of the night.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah, the Holiday Inn on 57, they need to do something. And that's annoying, too, because then they build a hotel right next to it.
Two of them.
Two of them? There's two there?
Two of them, yeah. There's one further back around that curb. There's one back there, and there's one up.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's two of them. I'm like, why didn't they just fix that one? That one it didn't look, well, maybe now. But when they shut it down, I don't even know why they shut it down.
I mean, I was in the Holiday Inn in 2020. Because when we were doing deliveries during shutdown and COVID, we were delivering to people in the Holiday Inn.
Oh, Holiday Inn.
Yeah.
Isn't it Days Inn or something?
No, the original Holiday Inn, the big tower one.
I don't think when it shut down it was Holiday Inn.
I don't know what they called it at that point, but that's what it is to us local people. Right. It's the Holiday Inn building. But I was in that building in 2020.
That was a beautiful building.
And it wasn't like
what was it?
Destroyed.
What'd they say? It was bugs in there or something?
I don't know. Is that what happened? I don't know. I don't know nothing about that. I know the one across the street got shut down because of just too many problems. They were doing monthly rentals to people and they were having just too much trouble out of that one. Kind of like Beachcombers when they shut that down.
I used to like going to Beachcomber. No, I'm just
everybody. That was a big party spot. Yeah. People would get the party. They'd do a party room there or whatever.
But yeah, every time I go by there, I'm like, man, that's a shame that they let that building go to hell and then they build up ones around it.
Yeah. Yeah, he's that whole mall needs something done with it. And I think the Holiday Inn will get taken care of whenever they do something with the mall.
They'll probably tear it down.
I was talking more downtown Elyria than I was specifically. But he's right. But that's been 4 years that I was in there 4 years ago. So I don't know how long they've been closed. But literally during COVID shutdown, there was guests in there that were ordering food from us and I was delivering it to them. I delivered at least 3 times to that place.
In my mind, I thought it was shut down a lot longer than that. But if you say you delivered there.
I know I did. Yeah, it was during COVID, and I've never delivered any other time, so it was 2020. That's only 4 years ago.
Yeah, wow. I thought it was way longer than that.
I mean, and it felt like the people that were there, though, were kind of living there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, they were probably stuck.
It was because it was a single woman, kids, you know what I mean? But that was we'd have 59-cent wings and then we'd deliver them to them, you know what I mean?
When are you going to start that again?
Well, that was during COVID. Wings were $83 in 2019 a case. So $2 a pound, basically, essentially $2 a pound. They were during COVID when all the restaurants and bars and everything got shut down. They dropped wings down to I think I was paying $45 a case. Mm. You know what I mean? So, I mean, it was, let's do this. You know what I mean? That was all day long. I was getting, at that point, the wing cost on it was I think 16
He was going through some gas then, huh?
Running wings around, yeah.
But But let's get back to Lorain. Like, I was thinking about some of the stuff we was talking about before, and there is like everybody wants to do all these little stupid things, you know. Like we was saying, you either got that mill area, you got to do something with that. Whether it's a mill, which I doubt, that area needs cleaned out and something needs done there.
Yeah, something. It could be anything, dude. But the thing is that these people have to stop worrying about trying to put a community center in. They need to be on the phone with GM, Ford, Tesla, freaking Amazon. I mean, whoever,
GE,
whoever you can get that's going to manufacture with decent jobs, decent paying jobs. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's, you know, you can't end up
$30 to $40 an hour jobs.
Right.
Not no fucking $17, $20.
Right. They need to be on the phone with those businesses and getting them. Because, dude, there's so many. First of all, there's so many businesses that don't even have to be that big that do pay good money. You go down like I've worked in a lot of these factories where they make different things like credit cards. I mean, credit cards, they make them right here. I've worked in a place where they make credit cards where was that at? It's on 91. I can't remember what city that was. Maybe Solon area or something. I mean, they made good money working in there. You had, you know, Mr. Coffee used to be down there. They made good money at Mr. Coffee. I mean, there's lots of things and lots of factories that pay good money out.
You know, another thing is like something like they got big factories somewhere else where it takes a lot to ship out this way. You just make like a smaller factory here. You know what I mean? For this area.
Or even Rydell pays decent. Like my brother and his wife do decent on that. I mean, it's not like it's not Ford money, but it's pretty good money. You know what I mean? It's not bad. They get a lot of overtime and stuff.
Yeah, but
too.
when you got an area like that they just pretty much act like it's locked down, like you can't do anything with it. I'm like, well, you got these people that own this thing, and they got buildings collaborating in there and all that stuff.
Right.
You find them.
And you'll annex some property to put an exit on a highway, but you won't annex that to fix it and get it right. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's like a little city in there. You could do a lot in there.
Oh,
and the land is the land is like prime.
Yeah, but is there a fear about the cleanup of that area too, though?
It doesn't matter. It's got to get cleaned up.
Yeah, but I think that
No, back in the day, you know, they just dump shit in the ground.
Yeah, but I think that for sure they did. But I think that the belief is to let it sit until it cleans itself up.
Well, we'll be dead by then.
Yeah, I mean, it's really not as bad as you think. Like, the Earth is amazing. Like, it'll bring it back in like 30 years. You know what I mean?
Well, how long has it been down?
I don't know.
It's about that time. But what I'm saying is, you could, because I worked for an environmental company at one time, and they just took the dirt. They treated it and put it in like haystacks, plastic, and all that. And then every couple years they would come back, retreat it, flip it, and then it'd be good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know anything about it.
I think the total was like 5 years or something, 6 years or something. I can't remember. But you got to dig that dirt out, test it. If it's bad, you pile it up somewhere, and then you treat it, and then you know, then it's good dirt after a while. But that area that they clean it out of, you got a good area. You know what I mean?
Yeah, what if they just took half of it and cleaned it all out, piled it somewhere, and let it and worked on it over there, and then while they're doing that, bring in fresh dirt and start building here. Something.
We don't know
there's
the
a reason to do it. There's a way to do it. I mean, there's definitely a way to do it. There's no reason to not do it. I mean,
or you just move out of Lorain.
You know, Mary Sprinkowski reached out to me and said if we have any questions about the city of Lorain, she'd be more than happy to answer them.
Who's
for
that?
us. Mary Sprinkowski. She's I think she used to be a councilwoman, I believe, at one time. I can't remember what she is exactly. I think she's a council. I think so. But she reached out. She listens to the podcast because Tia turned her on to it, she said. Yeah. But yeah, she said that she'd answer any questions, you know.
No, I wonder what her title is now.
I have no idea. I don't know if she... why did that go black? Why did this unhide it? I got to unhide... Why did this comment get hidden?
He's probably cussing us out.
Oh, shit. He said shit. Oh. Yeah. That's the problem with putting it on Madhouse Bar and Grill. If you cuss, I got to unhide it. If you cuss in the comments whenever we have it on there, because I've got it where it shuts it off. But yeah, I think that's something that could be done with. But there's plenty of other spots that you could be building and doing stuff in Lorain anyways.
I think that's the best.
I mean, that one needs it for sure, no question about it. And all those other little businesses that are up front, I mean, those aren't even part of the mill. You know, you could fix that main thorough for, coming through there with just fixing those businesses up. Those aren't even part of the mill.
Yeah, but these conversations have been going on for a long time with a lot of people, and
nobody's doing anything. But how many of them are reaching out to Ford executives? How many are?
No, you're right.
They're just waiting for somebody else to come and say something or ask to be involved in something. You know what I mean? It's like you can't just sit there waiting for somebody else to come. You got to be aggressive and proactive. You know what I mean? It's just, I don't know. I just it's frustrating to me. But it's definitely. That's, I guess, why I went on Antonio like I did. I didn't mean to, though. I really don't. I feel bad about it now. I really do, because I mean, he's been on twice now, and he's always more than willing to come on and just
nice
talk.
And proper, and you know what scream at him. Yeah, I know.
I didn't. Did I really scream at him?
Then you didn't go back and rewatch it?
It was 4 freaking hours. I didn't listen to the whole thing.
Oh. Well, you could see on the video, like when you're fast forwarding and you're going, that's when you was yelling at him. Hey, his eyes got big. I'm like, holy shit! I just tilted to the side. I was like,
I thought it was funny his face when Ogle came in. You just see him like laugh, like you could see the humor in his face.
Yeah, you was a little too aggressive there, buddy.
But you know what? I'm honest in what I'm saying. I think right. It's right.
I think you're right with what you were saying, but the way you said it wasn't right.
Now you sound like a woman.
Whatever. What have you done for me lately? Shit.
Yeah, I got into it with Amanda's friend Amber, her husband Steven. Mm-hmm. We got into it in the garage. I probably was aggressive with him too. Probably. That's just who I am. That's how I talk. I guess. I think. I did it with Keith at lunch the one time. That's just how I am, I guess. It was sold in 2020, Donna said.
See it.
All right. So that's kind of what it had to do with. Okay. But I got an argument with him about 2D, 3D vision. He says that our eyes don't see things in 3D, that our brain learned that they're 3D through whatever. But I mean, I remember when I was in school, I thought the whole point was that's why we have 2 eyeballs, is so that we can see 3D. Like the 2 eyeballs is what made that possible. That's what I thought in school. But he's saying like literally your vision, which I call line of sight. It's line of sight. To me, that's line of sight. But he says like your vision is only 2D. You know what I mean? Like that. He says that your vision is only 2D. And I think that he's an engineer. I'm sure he's studied it and heard it and learned it. But it says that you only see 2D, and then your brain puts together the rest of it that makes it appear 3D to you. But that doesn't make sense, because things look flat on a screen when they're not in 3D. Like when I'm looking at the image of you on the screen, you look very different than what I'm looking at in person, even though you have the same shadowing, so that doesn't add up to me. You know what I mean?
So you was yelling about this?
No, I just told him he smokes too much pot. And he goes, I don't even smoke pot. But I mean, I think what he's saying is like known fact. Like I said, he's an engineer. I'm sure it's like what everybody agrees upon, but I just don't know if I 100% agree with that we only see in 2D. I don't believe that our brain put the rest together, because then I think
so if everything on paper and science and everything else says that he's right, you'll still say he's not, right?
Right.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, because like I told him, a perfect example is when somebody draws a picture and they can make it look 3D. You know, like you see those people that do those like
the
stairs
floor, and it
stuff.
looks like you're falling.
Yeah, yeah. So that is tricking your mind into thinking it's 3D. And he says that we're being tricked in the real world. It's like, no, we're not being tricked in the real world. It actually is 3D. So that argument doesn't hold up to me. You know what I'm saying?
I don't really want to get into that.
No, you don't think so?
I don't care. I really don't give a shit. Go to something else. Like the Lorain shit, I'm interested. I don't care about the 3D. 2D.
Well, I mean, we got listeners everywhere. Lorain is, I mean, a lot of our listeners don't give a shit about Lorain.
Nobody cares about 3D or 2D.
In fact, a lot of our listeners probably moved out of Lorain. Probably. They probably actually are truly don't give a shit about Lorain.
Hey, Lorain gives you goals to get out of here.
Well, that's what I said to him, though. Am I wrong about that? Like,
No, everything you said to him was right.
I mean, that's all you're doing is trying to. If you're going to make these kids' lives better, you're just trying to get them out of Lorain.
Right.
That doesn't make any sense, you know?
Yeah.
Like, even why can't there be like a nice software company, like a nice 4-story software company in Lorain? Like, I mean, there's a million jobs out there now, and none of them are in Lorain.
And they should be. They should be, because like I said, it's almost like a hub. So you're transporting everything from wherever to come through. You know what I'm saying?
Could you imagine how awesome downtown Lorain would be if there was like a tech company down there that employed like 100 young
and then in
tech guys that would go out to dinner.
Nice lake river thing.
Oh, yeah, it would be amazing.
Yeah.
And that's not a factory. Like that, the factory isn't the only answer.
Yeah, I think it is, but.
Well, I mean, it's one answer, but it's not the only. There's so many jobs out there. There's so many different jobs you could have. We just grew up in a town where that was your brain was like Ford Mill Shipyard. You know what I mean? Well, by the time we come out, it wasn't. But when I was a kid, it was Shipyard.
Yeah.
But when we became adults, there was no Shipyard.
Yeah, that was a different world, boy.
At that point, most of the shipyard workers went to work for Campana, I think. A lot of them for welding and stuff. A lot of those shipbuilders.
Do you remember when Stu Shovel was open?
No, I don't remember that. Do you?
Well, my uncle worked there, so kind of.
I don't remember that at all. No, I remember.
That's when they made them big, and they're called Lorain, the cranes.
Yeah.
And you could still see them. They're huge.
There's still some in operation.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
They're huge, big. But yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember. I don't remember. I remember Clifford worked at the shipyards.
Oh, yeah.
When I was a kid, he would drop Danny off, like in the summer when my grandparents worked, he would go to the shipyard and drop off Danny at my mom's to watch him because we lived on the east side back then.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember that. And we used to go, at that time, I remember the first time I ever went to Lorain Palace Theater was with the shipyards, because back then they would do their Christmas party for all the shipyard workers and family at the Palace Theater. So we'd go there and they'd give us like, I remember we used to get like this stocking bag that had like Chinese finger cuffs and stupid shit like that. And it's a memory I have, but I remember the first time I saw it, I thought, wow, this is so glamorous. The inside of Lorain Palace Theater.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God. I walked in, I went, wow.
They still do a lot of stuff there?
I think so, yeah. I mean, I went to something right before my brother died. We went to a comedy show there with Scotty was there.
Who was on the show?
I don't know. I think it was put on with Angel Isaac and them, but I don't remember who was on. Honestly, I don't even remember.
Let's answer this. Let's answer what Donna said right here.
Why raise the kids to move out of Lorain? How about raise the kids to want to restore Lorain, rebuild it, and make it into a better place instead of just keeping it, letting it degrade? This is what I was saying last week, Donna. That was exactly what I was saying last week. That they're trying to, all they want to do is community centers for kids to help kids have a better life. Well, if those kids get a better life, they're going to get the hell out of Lorain. Why not make Lorain better so that just people will stay? I mean, that's what the whole argument was. I mean, that was my whole argument. Like, if you are successful at giving these kids a better life,
so us saying
they're moving.
Yeah, us saying to raise your kids to get out of Lorain was almost sarcastic. It wasn't. That's what our goal is.
I said that's what they're doing. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying to do that. I'm saying fix that. So that's not what you do.
So if you got a kid 16, 17 years old, at this point right now, what would you do? You'd want them to move out of Lorain.
Absolutely.
For sure.
110%. Yeah.
All right. So.
Yeah. My daughter's in Lorain right now, but she's in a nicer area. But it's like a little nerve wracking. I mean, but she's in a nicer street.
I know where she lives. Yeah,
she's across from a police officer, and it's like it's decent, but it's still like
it's not even a crime. It's more of the salaries and shit. That's all.
Right, because you have crime.
Right.
You could have crime anywhere. You always have like some of the worst crimes happen in like the nicest neighborhoods. You're always like, I can't believe that would happen here.
Right,
you know what I mean? Right. That's like,
yeah.
I mean, Yeah.
Jeffrey Dahmer lived right next door.
Right. The only difference in Lorain is that when the crime happens, we're not shocked. We're like, yeah, figures.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, that sounds about right. But I mean, that's I just, like I said, I just felt sorry about that, or like even. You raise your kid good, and he does a good job, and then he goes and kills a CEO of a
yeah. So what they
insurance
said
company.
That was about his mother, huh?
Yeah, that's what I keep hearing. It's something about his mother. I don't know exactly, but you know what? I don't understand about that. If you think he's guilty, why are his taxpayers putting all these cops around and protecting him? The mayor's next.
Yeah, more than Trump, isn't it?
Yeah. Why? I mean, if you think he's guilty and you think someone might kill him, go ahead. But there's nobody wants to kill him. There's nobody out. Everybody's on his side.
I don't think anybody wants to kill him, but they want to put him in prison.
But why are they protecting him like that? Why is he was in the courtroom with 4 police officers behind him.
I seen him walking through the thing. It looked like...
he had like 20 then, like with the mayor. Right. And the mayor, too.
Yeah.
Why?
He's going to get a light sentence. I don't think he's going to get that. He's going to do some time, but he ain't going to do like what he should.
I saw one guy said he's innocent.
People say so much stupid shit.
No, but he's got a good argument. There's a whole thing about his parents, like, always trying to get him to write with his right hand, even though he's left-handed. Mm-hmm. But he shoots with his right hand. Whoever shot that CEO is right-handed. He shot with his right hand because he cocks and reloads with his left. He's right-handed. It's a pretty good argument, actually.
Yeah, but you know what? I know people that do different things.
And Amanda's one of them. Amanda does a lot of things right-handed, but she's a lefty.
Chris Collins, he was right-handed.
Yeah.
His father was left-handed. His father had left-handed clubs. So they go golfing, and he only had left-handed clubs. So Chris, if you take him to the golf course, he'll get left-handed clubs.
He golfs left-handed?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Amanda does a lot of things right-handed, and she's a lefty. That's common, actually. And there's, people, or some are just ambidextrous. But
right.
I'm just saying it's not a bad argument. And the other thing is I don't see, like, when they show him, they show that mole. He's got that mole there, that, like, Robert De Niro thing going on. I don't see that in that picture when he pulls his mask down. It's not there.
Did you see that kid? There's a kid playing around on one of them Facebook things, and he's dressed like him. He looks exactly like him.
Well, that was before they caught him. He was doing that.
And then his mom's freaking out.
Yeah.
Quit doing that.
Yeah.
Change that code.
That was before they caught him. He was fucking crazy.
But he looked just like
him. Yeah. No, that was pretty funny. Yeah, I seen that.
And then he's got this weird smile and shit. You're like, oh, this motherfucker looks just like him. Oh, horrible.
Yeah, that's that. But though I still don't understand why all the security for him. Why does he get all the security like that? I've never seen that much security ever.
Yeah, I seen it too. It looked like president's walking down the street or something. They got so many people around them.
It was nuts, and I'm like, what the hell is this about? And I mean, why spend tax dollars like that to protect this guy anyways? Like, I mean, if he is a murderer, oh well, just don't protect him. But then there's nobody hating on him. Everybody's loving on the guy. So, I mean, protecting him is probably not even an issue. I wouldn't think.
Yeah, I don't think he's in any danger.
No, me neither. But I mean, maybe now that he's in cell with P. Diddy.
But he's not like his life ain't threatened. His booty is.
Yeah. That you might as well just kill me. Fuck that. Did you see that Jay-Z?
I don't listen to that stupid shit no more, man.
Well, that Jay-Z thing, like the Jay-Z and Diddy, I guess there's a case they're saying, it was some kind of award show or something. Something happened where a woman claims they gave her a drink, she got tired, then they were trying to rape her. But it was Jay-Z, P. Diddy, and another A-list celebrity who hasn't been named yet. Yeah. Female A-list celebrity.
Yeah, we know who that is.
But Jay-Z he went hard. Like he pulled out his attorney trying to get it dismissed. The judge did not dismiss it yesterday.
For real?
Or Friday or whatever it was. Yeah, it was not dismissed. They're like, nope, this is a legit case now.
Put that up a little bit.
Mine? Why? I'm cold enough. Bossy.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're saying that it's a legit case. This judge is going hard on him. I don't think so. I'm looking at myself moving right now. Your phone froze up.
No.
Because it's old.
Yeah.
Like you.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, anyways, Jay-Z, that whole thing with Jay-Z. And then Amanda tells me this last night. This is kind of crazy, dude. So she worked with this girl, okay, who was Korean, but she was adopted, okay? And I guess she posts on Facebook something about this group that she got involved in. And this group that she's involved in are all adopted Korean kids, okay? So it's wild. So she looks at it, and there's like pictures of like the kids. Like the one that's in the group is like, it's funny because the one shows their picture of the group, and then another person shows their picture of the group. Exactly the same picture, but seconds apart, like heads are moved or whatever, but same people in the picture and everything, and it's a girl, but it's not her friend or whatever. Then her friend shows her picture, which looks like it's probably in the same place. And this is like an orphanage or something whatever, where they're, basically getting rid of Korean kids to Americans or whatever.
Getting rid of them.
Well, that's what they're doing, dude. It's fucking wild. So she puts of it. So in this group that she shares or whatever, in this post, she shares a video of the Korean, like this whole like documentary that's been done on it. And I forget, I can't remember the numbers, but it's like 7,800 kids or something like that were brought from Korea in the 80s and 70s, late 70s, 80s. They bring all these kids over from Korea, and most of them, or not most, I shouldn't say most of them because I don't know, a lot of them were stolen, essentially. Like one guy went and found his birth parents. His father was amazed that he was alive because
they probably told him he was dead.
They told him when he was born that he needed a surgery. He was in bad shape. There was nothing they could do, and that he wasn't going to make it. And then his adoption, brand new Korean baby boy that is perfectly healthy.
Wow.
And there's like different ones. And then one of the girls went there, and her adoption mother and somebody she knew, maybe her husband. I think her husband was into the girl's husband was into forensic stuff or whatever. And he did a DNA test with her mother that she finally met. Wasn't her mother. So the paperwork she had was all bullshit. Okay? But what they're saying is that, like, so the kids would come in, they would take them from the parents, or the parents couldn't take care of them, so they'd put them in an orphanage in Korea, and they would just ship them off to America. Well, then the parents it was supposed to be a temporary situation. The parents would come back to get because they're like, okay, now I've got my stuff together. You know what I mean? And they would just hand them their kid. But they already shipped their kid, so they would just give them another kid and change the paperwork.
That's so fucked up.
Right?
Yeah.
Right? And her friend that she worked with is like one of these girls that was done that way. So now she's like on her journey trying to find out, what's going on with, you know what I mean?
Man, it's the shit that happened, before technology. You could go on a computer and put it in and it's there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, Amanda couldn't stop watching this, which it wasn't like I didn't watch it, but I was watching little clips with her. She'd show me stuff or whatever. She couldn't stop watching it. She was like, this is crazy. And I'm pretty sure Kim Mulder adopted a Korean kid or a couple Korean kids.
A lot of celebrities.
The one that ran Star Builders. I think he had a couple adopted. I thought they were Korean, but I could be wrong. But I'm pretty sure they were Korean kids. I'm pretty sure. Mm-hmm. So it makes me wonder. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of crazy.
But
that's just stealing kids.
Yeah, but if that's not the people that got the kids' fault, you know what I'm saying?
No, that's not America's fault at all.
All right.
They're trying to blame America, like they're saying America would go there
and basically
once
steal
a
the
month
kids.
and sign the paperwork off on 100 kids and bring them back. And it's like, well, I mean, you would assume that they did their due diligence before you got there, right?
I don't know. Other countries do other things. So who knows?
Well, there's a woman that was on Lorain. Did you see that on the Lorain page that she had on? She's pissed off. They took her kids. Lorain Children's Services took her kid, and she's saying that she went to court, and the judge starts reading this domestic violence case against her, and she's like, "That's not my name." And then she's like, "And the only I think it was Richard was the name. The other name, there was a woman and a Richard domestic violence case that they were trying to say had to do with her." So the only one she could think of, Richard, is her son. So then the judge is like, oh, never mind, blah, 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 blah. And then she calls CSP, and it's what it is. It's a domestic violence case that involves the adoptive parent with her son. And yet they still have her kid, but she doesn't. And they're in another state. They moved to another state because they got in trouble for the way their house was here, I guess. Like, I guess there was like 4 adopted kids in a trailer with the roof caving in or something.
Wow.
According to this, now I'm just reading what was on the Lorain page, what she said. I mean, I don't know how her kids got taken from her or any of that. I don't know. I mean, usually if your kids got taken, you weren't doing something good. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well,
but to put them in abusive homes would be worse, right?
Yeah.
I would think. I mean, if you're going to get abused, you want to get abused by your parents, not somebody else's, right?
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, if you're going to get abused by parents, I'd rather it was my own, I would think. Unless it's sexual abuse, then maybe not. But yeah, that. Yeah, I don't know. That children's services thing, like, I know it's necessary. There are people that need to get taken, like, from parents that are just horrible. I really know. I mean, I know that 100%. But I feel like they're not, like, I feel like they probably are people that aren't qualified enough to do what they do, probably. They probably don't make enough money. They probably aren't quite qualified to do what they do.
I don't know.
That's how I feel.
See, but that's like anything, man. People, they don't follow through with their job, what they're supposed to, and just go through the motions. You know?
Yeah, but that, not doing your job on that job is different. You know what I mean? If you don't do your job as a concrete guy, and it's like you didn't clean your truck good enough, whatever.
I do it all the time.
But I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's like whatever. Or if you're a carpenter and, you know, you didn't square up a wall perfect, you know, whatever. But when you're like talking about taking a child from a parent, like, you got to be on your shit. You got to know what you're doing. You know what I mean? And I feel like it's kind of like that whole prosecutor shit where it's like, once they get it in their head, they don't care.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, they're never going to look back at it.
They don't want to. Well, I think that's a little different. I think when it goes to the prosecutors, like, there's innocence, and they're like trying to keep their record, you know what I'm saying? Make their record clean by arguing the fact. Like, you know it's wrong, but you're like, oh, it'll scar my record.
Well, I don't know though. But because what about this whole thing with?
Well, that's what I'm saying. The what you're saying, that's two different things.
No, I think it's a tunnel vision can happen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just like the John Benet Ramsey, like they got themselves like tunnel visioned on the one thing and never figured that crime out. Honestly, and I mean I don't know who did that crime. I mean clearly I didn't get any involvement in it. If I had to guess though, I'd say it was the kid did it and the parents covered it up. That's what I think.
Who's her brother?
Yeah. That would be my guess. I think the parents covered up the kid killing his sister on accident. That's what I think. But, I mean, what do I know? I don't know shit. I haven't really, I'm not an investigator, and I really haven't even listened or heard anything. I just, my thought.
Yeah, you made a lot of shit up.
Well, there was that time, remember, they did the interview with them? There's a whole thing that doesn't add up with that. Like, they say, the official story is that the brother was never downstairs. But he actually did an interview with Phil. That was it, Dr. Phil, maybe? I think Dr. Phil, he did an interview with where he says that after everybody went to bed, he was excited and went downstairs to play with his new toy. And then she had like something in her stomach or something that was on the counter, but there's no explanation of how she ever had it. So that, I think it was pineapple. There's like pineapple in her stomach that she had never eaten that night. But there was a bowl of pineapple on the counter in the kitchen, in the pictures and everything, along with a big flashlight. The other thing I remember is
there's a suitcase by the window where something, I don't know, they was making a big deal.
That window thing is bullshit though because of the spider webs.
I don't know.
Where that crate was, there was spider webs and shit around it. So the window was broke, yeah. There was spider webs and shit over the crate. So how did you get through the window without the spider webs getting disturbed? Yeah. Or, I mean, and they were like cobweb spider webs, the way it sounded.
I never paid any attention to that case.
No. But it's got there's a whole documentary around it now. I haven't watched it yet. But I mean, I do know those two things. But anyways, the little boy Netflix, said it, but the official, I know that's the notice. The official story is he was never downstairs. But wait a minute, he clearly says he was downstairs looking for a toy. So it just doesn't, you know what I mean? That just doesn't make sense. But the tunnel vision is my point. Like there was a tunnel vision, I think, that just ruined that case because they only focused on the parents did it, oh well. You know what I mean? So they never could solve it because
they focused on something.
They were focused on the wrong, only one thing instead of like trying to like look at all the different, same thing I think with Lacey Peterson too, maybe. But the thing that really is this whole prosecutor now, he got turned down, right?
Turned down for what?
That Ohio 4, the one that was on Joe Rogan. So Josh Dobin went on Joe Rogan and he talked about the Ohio 4 here in Cleveland, which was the murder. And you probably remember the woman that was found behind Westgate Shopping Center when we were in high school.
Yeah, it's kind of.
Well, I guess her and another guy died that lived together. And 4 people were charged or something with it. And they're charged. The only evidence they have is one witness. The witness has recanted his statement.
Jeez. Literally,
they went I printed it up. I have it. I think it's at home. I didn't bring it with me. I wish I'd have brought it with me. I printed it. They've got the statement from William Avery Jr., saying that he made it up for the money because there was a reward for if you had any information. And the way Josh Dubbin says is he said he goes in, the William Avery went in and said, he knows who did it, blah, blah, blah. They said, well, you're only giving me information that is on the newspaper and no bueno. The next day, his son comes in, does the same thing with him. And he goes, you're only giving me the information that's in the newspapers, no bueno, right? The next day, the son comes in and tells him he personally witnessed it. Okay? They arrest these guys. He's been in prison since 90. This was like 91. Wow. This happened. So, and the only evidence they have is this William Avery Jr., which I've tried to find him. I'm trying to find him. I wanted to talk to him. I was trying to look for him. It says he lives on West 25th in Lorain. That's what it says. But he recanted his statement, and they gave that to the judge, okay? No, I'm not saying these guys that are in prison are innocent. I'm not saying that. And I don't know that the prosecutor, J.D. Tomlinson, was saying that. But he submits it to the judge with this letter stating it and that there's no other facts. And in fact, Cleveland, which is one of the guys, he's got proof he was in New York at the time.
Wow.
Eyewitnesses, phone records, everything that he's in New York. They submit this to the judge, and the judge goes, no, I'm not relooking at it. I'm not even going to reopen it. Like, how could you not at least...
Look at it, yeah.
Yeah, why would you not at least do that? That's the very least. You have that responsibility. That doesn't make sense to me. And I honestly...
What is that, I don't feel like it kind of thing?
I feel like it's a J.D. Tomlinson thing. Like, yeah, you're on your way out type of thing. I feel like that's what I think.
It could be.
I mean, how could that judge literally look? It's Ewers, which how long has he been in? Because it says he's only been in since like 2007, but it seems like it's been a lot longer than that, doesn't it?
I don't know. Well, yeah, if there's evidence of something where people just a chance, whether it's true or not,
right,
it still should be looked at, I think.
Absolutely, I agree. Like that just doesn't make sense. Like that, why would you just say no?
Right.
Just turn it down, flat turn it down. That doesn't make any sense to me.
It's stubborn.
But you're fucking with someone's. I mean, if Lord forbid, if this is the case, that guy was in New York, wasn't even near this, and you can't. In fact, they can't even. The two people that were dead that lived together, they're only charged with the woman's death. They're never even charged with the guys because he only said he saw the woman thing happen. But yet both are killed the same way. One found in a different location the same day, though. You know what I mean? And they don't care. They just don't give a shit. They're just like, and then even worse, that means there's probably a murderer out there.
Right.
That's just wild and free. Like it could be that Sam. What was his name? What was that guy's name? The one from Lorain that was killing everybody.
Wasn't his name Cleveland?
No.
What was it?
Cleveland was the one that is from this. I think it's like Samson or Sam.
I don't know,
Samson.
but he's dead, isn't it?
Is he?
I don't know.
He got arrested in
You're talking
California.
about the one that was like a truck driver, was going all over the country.
They said they killed
people.
they said he might be the most prolific serial killer of all times, and he's from Lorain originally.
Somebody will post their name.
It's something like that. I don't know if it's Sam Little sounds right, but I don't think that's right.
Know.
I think that's another one.
That was pretty wild. That was only announced probably 5 years ago.
Yeah, it wasn't long. Yeah, it wasn't long ago. And he was from Lorain.
Yeah, from Lorain.
But I don't know when he left.
Was it Lorain or Leary?
No, it was Lorain. Yeah. It was actually Lorain, yeah. It was definitely Lorain.
See, we got something to be proud of, I guess, huh? No, I'm just kidding.
if you want to, that's what it is.
It put us on the map. No, I'm just kidding.
You know, I saw something else too that was cool. Who was it? I'm trying to remember who it was. Oh man, who is it? God, I don't even want to say because I don't know who it was. Somebody famous like had an uncle that had like maybe a restaurant or dry cleaners or something in Lorain on like 28th Street or something.
I don't know. The Olsen twins. I think Uncle lived here too.
Really? The Olsen twins?
Yeah.
Their uncle lived here?
Their family members, yeah. They had that drive-through on, what is that, Overland Avenue? There used to be a little photo thing in between them.
Yeah.
There was pictures on the wall of the Olsen twins. I think the people that owned it was related to them.
Huh. This is way back, though. This is like, you're talking way, way back. Is it Perry Como? I think it is. I think it's Perry Como. Like one of his first performances was at the Palace Theater.
Oh, yeah. I seen that.
Yeah, because he would come visit his aunt and uncle or something here. Yeah. I think it is Perry Como, yeah. That's pretty wild.
Those some people came through here. Lorain was real popular at one time.
Oh, back then it was, yeah. Well, Ohio was popular back. I mean, back when you're talking back in the Industrial Revolution, the Rockefellers lived in Cleveland. And, you know what I mean? Like, it was a different time. It was different, you know. Everybody was kung fu fighting.
Now it's just Lorain's horrible.
Samuel Little, I'm right. It is Sam Little. Daryl just said. So
Daryl. Me and Daryl went to dinner yesterday.
Really?
lunch and whatever you want to call it.
Who paid?
Me, of course.
Wow. Daryl got taken on a date.
Yeah. I think it was his curls that did it for me.
Did he order the lobster?
No, we got them what are the things, them bags with all the seafood?
A boil?
Yeah, it was good. It was real good.
Donna said she wants to come be a guest one of these days. Having either DJ'd or bartended.
So we go to this place, right? And they got the levels of heat when you order the food. And Daryl goes to the hottest one. He goes, yeah, give me that hot one. And I'm thinking, like, not medium, 3/4. He went straight to the hot. So I looked at him. I said, you like hot shit like that? And he goes, yeah. And I said, oh, okay. We started eating. He's got tears, boogers, and shit coming out. He goes, yeah, next time I'm not going to order the hot one. Oh, yeah, that shit was funny.
That's funny. Yeah. No, thank you. Wait, what is Donna talking about?
I don't know. She wants to come on.
Come on, Donna. Come on down.
Let's see.
We'll put you on right now. How's that?
30 little six.
She said something about some penile implants. Now I want to hear it.
What the hell did you do?
I don't know. That's what she said. She got all the dirty little secrets, she said.
I don't want putting no dirt out on people.
Well, what the hell we got a podcast for if we're not going to put dirt out on people?
For what?
I don't even know what the point is if that's not what. If we're not going to do that, I don't even know why we're here.
That's most gossip. Like, this more, our thing is pretty much realistic. Like,
It sounds like bar talk.
No, he said they had hotter. Oh, well, you was crying a little early then. Oh, it was bad. He was like,
And it was a boil?
tissues and shit. Yeah.
It had what was all in the boil?
Mine was, I just got pretty much, I think we both just got pretty much the basic one. The crab legs and shrimp, corn, egg, potato. It was good.
No crawfish.
No, that was the next step up, which I'm going to get next time.
They have crawfish there all the time? Mm-hmm. Really? They must do frozen, huh?
I don't know. It was good.
Huh. Where is this place at?
Lee's.
Lee's? Where's that?
Oh, shit, what city was that? North Homestead?
North Olmsted? Lee's in North Olmsted.
Yeah.
Does Tex know about it?
Yeah, me, Tex, Sam, Danny, and somebody else went out there one time. There was a bunch of us went out there.
So that's how you so it's not your first time there?
No, not mine. I think it was Gerald's first time. It was good though.
Well,
and we went early enough where it wasn't crowded.
It's the kind of place you take somebody on a first date.
Yeah, that's why I took Daryl.
First date.
Yeah, he had his little clicker shoes on and shit.
Are you gonna call him again?
Hey, that's like that them skits I've been watching, or the second date thing.
No, what are you talking about?
Man, I've been listening to these it's like almost like a prank phone call thing, and then they changed up. They got the second date thing, where if you go out with a woman or a guy or whatever, and they don't call you back, or they won't answer your calls or whatever, so the people are curious, so they have this DJ call or whatever, some guy call.
I think it was a DJ. The one you sent me. I know what you're talking about now.
So then he's asking what happened on the date. Man, there's some of those are so funny.
Oh, that was hilarious. The one you sent me was that the girl said she had to go.
Oh, well, yeah.
What did it? She had to go get
dirty snake or something.
Yeah, she had to go get rid of a dirty snake.
That dude got grossed out. Never called her back.
And then when she came back, he said something, and she said
had to drop the kids off at the pool or something.
Something about damn it, what was it? I can't remember.
That shit was funny.
It was hilarious.
The dirty snake. Oh my god.
He's like, yeah, that's just nasty. No, thank you.
Oh shit.
And she's like, I'm just being real. Right. You should just. It's like, no,
like a
fuck
sense
that.
of humor. He goes, on your first date. He's like, nah. Yeah, he died in
2020. Over 60 people murdered, but he said it. That's what I heard. 93. That's what I heard that he admitted that it was 93.
Wow.
That's wild. 93 people, dude. That's like you're just constantly looking for somebody to kill.
Yeah. So
that's wild. It's pretty bad.
So I'm wondering how old he was when he died compared to when he got caught. So, like, the average a year, how many would he get?
I think that, if I remember right, I think he was in Lorain
when they caught him?
When we were born. I think he left right after we were born, I think.
But what I'm saying is,
if I remember right. So that means you're talking, he was killing because they caught him in, like, what, 2018 or something like that? So, I mean, he was killing for a long time, dude.
Yeah, what I'm saying is, what is the average from him? Like, what is his average a year? Like, how many people was he killing a year?
2?
2, 3?
Something like that. 2, probably. Jeez. 2 people a year.
No, it had to be more than that.
No, dude, if he was left here in the 70s.
Yeah, but you're not.
And he was killing from the 70s, from, say, 72, 73 till 2018, that's almost freaking 40 years. 90 people, that's 2.5 people a year.
2.5. Yeah. Damn.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah, just
straight looking
one in the spring
people.
and one in the, it's like, damn.
Whenever you find him, I think it's just you got to.
The opportunity?
You just got to have the opportunity to do it or something.
That's so crazy.
It is. That's insane. Actually, that's just doesn't make any sense. Why they would do why somebody would want to hurt somebody like that? I don't understand. Like, I know they say it's like a power thing or something, or sometimes they say it's like a sexual thing or whatever. But I just don't get it. Like, I don't see where the appeal. I guess because I'm not a serial killer, but.
Well, look at.
Huh?
It was talking about a plane crash, South Korea or something.
A plane crash?
It just plopped up on my thing.
Oh.
But yeah, I don't know what clicks in somebody's head to be a killer like that.
I don't know either. Oh, it was 2012, really?
That's what I'm saying.
I thought it was after I had the bar. Huh? I didn't realize it was that early.
So that's what I'm saying. I'm sure he didn't kill when he was 12. So, from.
No, he was an adult when he left, but they think he killed here before he left.
But what I'm saying is, from when he started killing.
That's 40 years.
Okay.
72 to 2012.
I ain't asking how many years it is. I'm saying from when he started killing, he didn't. The date's different. We thought it was in the 20s, to 2020. And he's saying 2012. I'm saying from now the percentage went up. Remember you just said 2 a year, not 2.5 a year or something like that?
I don't think it has because it's still 40 years. I didn't add the 7 years. I didn't say it was 47 years.
Well, what I'm saying is
still 40 years. That's still
when
like
he started to when he was done.
It's 40 years.
What was the average per year is what I'm saying.
90 people, 40 years. It's a little over 2 a year.
Okay. Well, you said that.
Right? Am I saying it wrong? I think I'm right.
Yeah, but you said the same thing when it said 2020.
Yeah, but I was just saying 40 years. I was just going by 40 years, saying it was 40 years, even though it might have been 47. I was saying 40. I was thinking it was 45, but
I'm saying I'm just wondering what the true average is. Just the average, not.
That's it. If you do 40 years, if he got convicted in 2012, I'm pretty sure if I remember right, they said he left Lorain in 72 or 3 or something. Like I'm pretty sure.
So
if I remember right.
You think his first one was here in Lorain?
Yes. Well, I don't know if it was Lorain, but I think they said in this area. Yeah. And then he was just doing it all over the country. Like he was just always on the go.
Wow.
Doing it constantly. I don't know. That's weird. They said that the one guy too was like that got found murdered in, like, where was that? At Twinsburg or something? Maybe they found a body. They said he was one. I think I talked about that on here already. They said he was one of the somebody. I forget, somebody famous. I can't remember who it was though. 1970 to 2005. So that's 35 years. So yeah, you're probably closer to 3 then. 2.25 a year. There you go.
That's my question.
Yeah, but the math is the math.
Right, but what I'm saying is you started off at 2020 and then it was 2012. So
I didn't start out at 2020. I said 2018 I thought he got arrested.
Okay,
I was 6 years off.
All right, whatever.
But he says till 2005. I don't know why only 2005.
Because wasn't he in a wheelchair?
I don't know.
Yeah, he was in a wheelchair after. I seen him when he was in court and shit. He was in a wheelchair or something.
Really?
Yeah, so he physically probably couldn't do it anymore.
Wow. That would suck to not be able to do the one thing you love.
Wow. Yeah, he dedicated himself. How many years on it? Shit.
And then it just, nope, no more.
Yeah.
Can't do it no more.
Man, his damn wheelchair.
No, it's more than that, Newman. Ohio, California, and Texas, he said he admitted it was everywhere, like Georgia, Florida.
Those are probably the ones that they got true facts and evidence and shit.
Yeah, they said it was everywhere. Like there was all kinds of them, he was saying. But he was a truck driver, right? Isn't that what it was? I think he was.
You know, at that time to be cross country like that, either you're filthy rich or you're a truck driver.
Yeah.
That's why a lot of truck drivers
or a vagabond.
They say that they like doing that over the road because they can see places they never financially get to see. You know what I'm saying?
Or murder without being detected.
And that too. But it's harder now because of the technology, like I said.
Well, cameras,
cell phones.
They catch that shit right away.
Yeah.
That's just like that kid that shot that kid on the street. Like, I mean, they had video footage of him down the street, around the corner,
I told you within a week.
Everywhere.
I said within a week they're going to catch him. You're like, think? And I'm like, yep.
But did they catch him? The whole lefty-righty, you don't know.
He's locked up. We'll see.
They're protecting him.
Yeah, that is kind of crazy.
I don't understand why they're protecting him like that. I don't get it.
It's like they was going to put him in a one of them tanks and drive him to the door. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's not like I honestly I didn't see him protect that dude that they caught in Florida trying to shoot Trump. They weren't protecting him like that.
Well, they wanted the evidence gone there.
$1960 to conviction, those years, but from 60 to conviction, 2012. When did he leave Lorain, Johnny? Did you look at that? That's what I'm curious about.
You're probably right, 72.
I thought it was something like that. I remember when I seen it, I was like, that's around the same time we were live then. You know what I mean?
We was alive. We wasn't doing nothing.
No, we don't know anything. But our parents
What
could have
year
been
was
killed.
you born?
73.
Yeah, you wasn't even born yet.
But I think I remember thinking it was when I was alive. So I feel like he left right when I was alive. I think. I don't know. I'm grabbing coffee.
You think you might have been related, Deacon?
I'm not saying that. I ain't got no little.
Huh?
You got any littles in your family?
No.
Did you know any littles?
No. Probably. I don't know. I didn't go by. I didn't ask everybody their last names when I met them. Huh?
Sounds familiar a little bit.
Littles? James Asaph just got on.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. So you just gonna jump up in the middle of the damn thing and go get a coffee? Huh?
I need a coffee, Dan. What do you want from me?
Should have had it. See this big one I got? Look.
Huh?
Should have got a big one.
Should have got a bigger cup. I need the curd right next to the studio so I can just grab it.
So you could hear it. Yeah.
Then I'll have to piss.
Yeah.
Then I'll have to get up and piss shortly. That's all right. They only see you anyways.
I know.
If you'd have just kept talking, they wouldn't have known.
Mm-hmm.
See how you are. Yeah, but anyways, back to that Ohio 4 though. What I'm saying is there could be a murderer out there right now.
Right, that's other people are sitting for his crime.
And people are sitting, which they're drug dealers. They were definitely drug dealers. They were from New York. They were drug dealers that would come to Lorain to sell drugs. So, I mean, they weren't like the most innocent people, but that doesn't mean they should have been in prison for the last 30 years for a murder they didn't commit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. 1 little pound of weed got me 30 years.
Well, that affidavit says that Avery's dad owed him money, the drug dealer. That's who he got his drugs from. So instead of paying him, he got his $2,000 for turning them in. You know what I'm saying?
Is that true?
Yeah, that's in the affidavit, dude.
Oh my God.
It's in the actual affidavit that well, whatever that is. I don't know what it is. The thing that's on
The
line
warrant or whatever.
That I don't know, not the warrant. No, the thing that he just asked him to, not, to exonerate it and retry the case, basically, is what he asked him to do.
They should.
Absolutely, they should. Absolutely.
But in dude's defense, that's kind of slick.
What do you mean?
Hey, I owe him drunk money.
Oh yeah, I mean that's like ghetto shit. Like I don't want to pay him money and I get $2,000.
Yeah, when you're in that lifestyle, that's what you get.
At 91, that's a come up, dude. You ain't got to pay your drug bill and you get $2,000 to go buy some more drugs. That's a major come up in 91.
Yeah, that dude. Oof.
And they said too, like I think, like.
But what came out? Who came out and said that was all a lie in the first place? Was it the dude that turned him in?
Well, I think that originally, before they even got sentenced, he was going to recant a statement. Oh. But they told him if he recanted it, then he would go to prison.
He would be charged for falsifying or something.
Correct. Yep.
Wow.
Yep. So he just was like, well, then I ain't recanting it. You know what I mean? And you can't blame him there.
Yeah. So what?
But what's the point in putting somebody in jail for something they didn't do? I don't get that. Like, why even fight it? Like, after he told you that, why would you even pursue it any further? Like, I mean, even though you don't have him recanting a statement.
That's some questions we need to, like, have, what's his name on here and talk to him. Why would they do that?
J.D. Tomlinson? Yeah. Well, he doesn't know why they would do that. He can't answer that because he wouldn't do that.
Well,
He's not that person.
I'm just saying, like, he would understand the reasoning why somebody else would do it, though. You know what I mean? Just out of, I ain't saying the facts. Like,
I think it's tunnel vision. I think that's all it comes down to. It's like that they just want to prosecute somebody. Like, they have that tunnel vision, I think. I think that's what it is.
Is it something like the poll? You know what I'm saying? Like, if it's a case solved, you know what I mean?
Jimmy Asa said for $2,000 right now, he's got some names.
Yeah. I ain't seen you in years, bro. Don't even try.
He comes in here.
I haven't seen him.
Yeah, he comes in. He's been in at least once that I know of.
I'm just saying, don't drop my name. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Oh, well, you know what? It's made up anyways. You can drop it.
But, I mean, it don't matter. If that dude made it up, I mean, these guys are in prison for 30 years.
Wow.
That's a scary thought, dude. That you could be in prison for something you did. It's like the Nancy Smith case. It's the same thing. Like, they're in prison for a completely made up story.
But is that a problem in our court system around here?
I don't know. Is that a problem in the court system in America? Because, like, that Josh Dubin goes across the country dealing with this type of shit.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
That's not just here. That's, like, across the country.
Yeah, but I'm saying, is it, like, does the area stand out more, like, from, Ohio area?
I don't know. I have no idea. Because there's so many out there that are like that. I
understand it's going on all over the country. I understand that, but I'm saying, is it more popular here? Like, is it more of a problem here?
Yeah, I really don't know the answer. I mean, you get those, like that one guy he got off.
And some of them are probably just natural, mistakes. Like, I get that.
Well, the one guy he got off, the guy was guilty.
Oh yeah, I remember hearing
that. He got him off because it wasn't that he got him off. It was that
the way they did it.
No, it was the sentencing was too much. Like, he was over sentenced. So he made the argument that he was over sentenced, and the guy got out, and he was an advocate. He was like working hard in courts, getting everybody out of like helping people file their their paperworks with the courts and stuff. And he was like smart, did great in school in college while he was in prison. And when he got out, he was actually clerking, I think, for the prosecutor's office or something like that. And Josh Dubin took him on. Joe Rogan sat there with them. He was talking about how he was, his life has changed and he was guilty of what he did, but yeah, that the sentencing was too much or whatever you want to call it. But then, like a month later, they caught him with a body chopped up.
Yeah, that's fucked. That kind of ruins their whole thing. Like, damn, they had a good thing going, and this guy ruined it.
Yeah, dude, what the fuck, man? Could you imagine?
That's going to be thrown in their face forever. How can it not, though?
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna. But the difference is that's not somebody they're saying is innocent, though. I mean,
right.
That was trying to get somebody off that they thought was over sentenced.
Now they're like, damn, if he would have done his whole time, that dude would be still around.
Right.
So yeah, that's definitely gonna be thrown in their face for the rest of their journey or whatever it is.
Yeah, and Rogan said he'll never hold it against him. He'll still let him do the. He thinks he's doing good work and stuff like that. But I mean, you gotta a little bit worry about who he's bringing on, though, right? I mean, a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, because you go back and pass history, you're gonna be like, well, your record ain't clear.
Yeah, I mean, well, the thing is, you got him in your studio talking to him, and then a month later, he's got body parts. Like, that's not good.
Yeah, damn.
I mean, not just like a accidental murder, like a body parts. Like
you helped this guy get out to kill somebody.
Yeah, and he cut him up.
And it's not deliberate or nothing, but damn, that's a hard one to swallow there.
That's a real hard one to swallow. I wouldn't set well with me, that's for sure.
Yeah, you know what? I'm sure he thinks about that every day. Like, damn.
Josh, yeah, I know he said that when he went on there, the podcast where he mentioned J.D. Tomlinson and Ohio 4, when he went on that podcast, Josh actually said that his Twitter and everything was down since that happened, but that he was putting it back up just so people could get to this link for the Ohio 4 and all that, because I think he was getting too much shit, like, and I seen it. Like, I went on there. There's a lot of people talking mad shit to him now.
Oh, people are they're
They're,
that's like how you went off on thing.
Oh, come on now. That wasn't like that. Come on, Jesus.
Yeah,
but I mean,
people just snap.
The
it's
problem
the heat of the moment. Is
you know
what?
The people like me aren't the ones that snap. Like, I'll get animated in a conversation, but that's okay. The ones that are snapping are in the corner quiet. They're the ones that are sitting in the corner, not saying nothing to nobody. They're just minding their business, and they're taking it all in, and they're pissed off, and they're angry, and when the chance comes, they're coming after you.
Yeah, they're getting a semi and go cross country.
Yeah, those are the ones you watch out for. Them little quiet ones in the corner.
Yeah.
You don't mess with them. That's like perfect example. I hate to say this, but Sam too. Remember when we hired her? I was like, she probably won't have any kind of energy or anything. She just sits so quiet remember, she would just come in, mind her business, sit at the bar, eat her salad, have her drinks so quietly. And we hired her, and that is not the case. That girl is not that person. I don't know what she was pretending to be when she would come in, but that is not who she is.
I think all the girls that came through here and some of the characters, boy, there were some characters.
I honestly like all of them. And there's very few that I just do not like. I mean, all of them I still like. It didn't work out, but that doesn't mean I don't like them. I definitely still like most of them.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a few there that don't sit well with me, but for the most part, yeah, I like all of them. They're pretty good, but it's just funny to think of her as the one that was the quiet one, and then once you see who she really was, like, she definitely was not that.
Yeah, she got 3 drinks and she was fine. That 4th one, it was over with.
I never thought that. I remember I think I told her sister, and when her sister said something about her, and I go, I don't know if she's got the right, like, personality. Yeah. She's, like, quiet, sitting at the bar, like, but she would, like, still bartend like that on occasion, like, depending on what her mood was coming in, like, whatever was going on in her personal life. She'd be in a great mood one time and then the bad mood the next time.
That's all women. That's all women.
That some, not Azare. Azare walks in this place the same every day. I don't care what's going on. You don't even know. Her house might have burnt down on her way in, and you can't even tell when she's waiting on you. You just can't
she
tell.
already said she goes home and cries.
She did say that.
Yeah, she goes, no, I'm fine. I just after work, I just go home and cry. Shit.
Yeah, you'd never know with her. She's always upbeat. Always. Her mom too. Her mom's like that too.
Her mom, her aunt, and they're all.
Her mom's funny. She come in yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always call her a cheater when she comes and has her in here.
Yeah.
But I think that they need to. I think that Judge Ewers needs to relook at that. I think everybody should write him a letter and tell him he should rethink at that.
I think he's obligated to.
I feel like he is too. I feel like you're not doing your job if you don't look at that.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, that's the only way you can look at that is you're not doing your job. You need to go look at that.
Yeah, that's what you're there for. You're supposed to put people that are guilty of something in prison, and people that aren't, you don't put them in prison.
And nobody's saying to say that these people are innocent and just let them walk on the street. They're saying look at the case again. Yeah. That's all they're saying. They're saying let's retry them.
Right. And like you said, there's a murderer out there that.
Yeah, I mean, especially if this guy was in New York.
Right.
I mean, how can you be in New York and in Ohio killing somebody?
How many people are in prison for this?
Well, it says the Ohio 4. Now, I saw an interview with one guy who's not in prison anymore, but he was charged with something and was in prison for a long time, but he's not anymore. So I don't know exactly how many he's locked up. What all that's about. Really, everything that you look at is looking at that Cleveland for the most part. That Cleveland guy was the one that
was supposed to be out of town.
Yeah, that's everything that I read, and I didn't read the whole thing 100% all the way yet.
Well, what kind of evidence is there that he was out of town? Like, is there phone records?
There's eyewitnesses, and I have to look and see again who it is. One of them, someone famous, was with him supposedly during that time, and then the phone records show that somebody here said that they spoke with him in New York at the time, and the phone records backed that up. But it was 91. It was hard lines. It wasn't a cell phone. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, I mean, it could be anybody on that phone, technically.
You got a few eyewitnesses saying that he was there. You got phone records. You got other shit. Yeah, you got to look into that again.
Yeah, you have to. You absolutely have to. If there's even a slightest chance that somebody's been in prison for 30 years that didn't deserve it, no, you got to look at that. You have to retry that. The problem is he's convicted on one thing only, and that is just the testimony of.
Yeah, if there was no other evidence, and that's a testimony of a person that's saying that he was, he made it up.
Right. I mean, now if there was evidence, like there was DNA evidence, there was something, I mean, blah, 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 blah. If there's anything else, fine. There's not. There's only one eyewitness, and by the way, you're only tying him to one murder.
All right.
And 2 people were killed that day.
Well, you know what the problem is? They find him innocent. He sues the city or whatever. He gets a big thing, and it's a big black eye on the city, whoever prosecuted him. So,
but right is right when it comes to that. I mean, you can't sit on that. Not when it's like somebody could be sitting in prison for 30 years. I mean, that's your life. Your life's gone. I mean, if I went in 30 years ago, that would have been 21 years old. My life is over. I mean, if you came out right now, you got nothing. You got no ability, really.
You don't
know
even know how to use a cell phone.
No, you don't. Well, you know what? They use cell phones in jail now, in prison and stuff. They get they gotta have cards and stuff, I think. But I was shocked about that. Yeah.
Well, that was just joking aside, but yeah, I don't know.
You have to look at it. I think that everybody should
obligated.
Everybody should write Ewers or email Ewers and tell him he's got to look at it. It ain't right. I mean, if you go look at that, if you go on Twitter to Ohio 4 on Twitter and look at it, he's got the document on there. He's got the testimony from William Avery Jr. He's got the other, but that's part of the problem is nobody can find William Avery Jr. either.
But here's another thing.
He needs found.
Say he doesn't want to look at it. Can you go over his head at that point, or that's the end of the rope? That's the end of the line right there.
I don't know how well it is for JD because he's no longer the prosecutor. I mean, maybe he could have went to the Ohio courts or something, but he's not the prosecutor now. So now it would be up to Tony Cilio, which he needs to do it then. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm just wondering how, like, that's the end of the road that stops there, or you could go over his head and
you
go
can,
to
but he's out of time. You know, he's up. So it's Tony Cilio's.
So how much time does this guy got left if he this?
I really don't know.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there's a lot of questions there I still want to ask, but we don't have the answers.
Yeah, I don't really know. Yeah, I don't know the answer to that. I just
is it getting that let out next year, or is it going to be another 20 years? Like what? I don't know. There's questions I want to ask.
I would assume he's in prison the rest of his life. It's murder.
Murders. Yeah, some people do 10 years. Some people do 25.
I don't know if he got out. Now, see if that guy gets out and he goes and kills William Avery Jr. You know, I mean, he might. I mean, you know, first of all, your mentality changes in prison, for one. And for two, you put me in prison for 30 years, I'm going to come out and stab your ass if I can. I mean, my life's over anyways, and nothing out here makes sense.
Yeah, well,
you know what I'm saying?
I don't know.
I'm going to come get you.
Yeah.
Right?
I don't know. I ain't never been in a position like that.
But you can realize what could happen in that situation.
People say all kinds of stuff what they're going to do in situations, and it's just not the truth. They think that's what they would do.
I don't know. I wouldn't forgive them, that's for sure.
Oh, I ain't saying to forgive them.
Johnny Newman said they will reopen it in a few years from now, and it will let him out. They need to do it. People need to get on their case about that now. Like they need to do that immediately. If that's the case.
And you know what's a weird thing too? When they find these people innocent, and they're like, "Yep, he's innocent," and then we got to go through this court stuff, and then they go back to jail for like a day or something, 2 days, a week, a month. Like
right.
You'll be let out next month. Why? That second you get out, I'd walk out the courtroom.
Yeah.
Why do you have to go back?
I don't know.
Did you know what I'm talking about? You ever see that shit?
I don't know if that's how it works. I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, maybe I watch too much TV.
I really don't know. Well, I mean, I really, when you first watched like The Making of a Murder, did you watch that or no? Mm-hmm. That was like one that was wild. Like, you know, I don't know. I still don't know when I watched that, like if he's innocent or wasn't innocent, but it's definitely looks like it could.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
That's like, it was like, I forget, like somewhere in the Midwest or something. He was like, he was kind of like slow or something like that. And they like, the family like owned like a junkyard and like they had some property. Like, I don't know. Somebody came up missing anyways, murdered. And they basically got this kid that was slow to admit he did it. Oh, because he just wanted to go home, basically. He's just, you know what I mean?
I've seen some cases like that when I was younger. Like they showed people in the interrogation room, and they're kind of pushing him to this is how it was, and then they.
Yeah, and he was slow though. This kid was he was like functioning, but he was like not. He wasn't all there. Right. Clearly, he wasn't all there. But yeah, it's a documentary, and it's pretty good actually. And then I think something else happened afterwards too. Like I think there was 2 of them. Like they finally got him free on one, and then another murder. They went after him for another murder after that. Later on,
the court systems are a little strange, man. Like when I was younger, a friend of mine did do some shit somewhere in the city, and at the same time, something else was going on down the other side of the city. Well, they told him if he pled guilty to both, that the charges would be less. So I'm like, that's fucked up.
Yeah.
So it's almost like a point system. Like they're clearing their, how would you say? They're like, they solved it kind of thing. Like they're.
Well, Hassan had that go on with him. Hassan had that Mike in the car with him and some other girl, and he gets pulled over, and Mike gets an attorney, and the attorney is basically telling Mike, and Mike puts it on speaker so Haas and Lynn could hear it at the time. Puts it on speaker, and he's saying the attorney's telling him,
plead all this shit.
Tell him it's Hassan. That's who they want anyways. And it wasn't even Haas's shit. It was they were in his car with them and had stuff on him, and he didn't even know anything about it. And they're literally telling him, just give him Hassan. That's who they want anyways. Like, what the hell?
Yeah,
like, that literally happened.
They was like, oh, you fight this case. I can't remember how it was. You fight this case, which he did do. If you fight this case, you're going to, this is the time you're going to get, which was like 3 times more. But if you just plead guilty to all these, we'll give you like 6 months or so. He's like, oh, okay. So guilty.
But it wasn't anything he
it's
did?
impossible for him to do it. One was going on over here, one was going on down there at the same time. How the fuck can you be at 2 places at one time? They're like, you plead to all these and we'll give you a lesser charge, you know? And he's like, oh, well, that's no brainer. You know, he knew he was guilty on the first one.
Well, who was that prosecutor?
Oh, I don't remember that. That was so long
What
ago.
year was it?
I'll say in the 90s, 92.
Sounds like the same prosecutor that put in Cleveland.
Well, but I'm saying, and you know what? I guess that's the way it is. Like, you know, that's how they cases solve, basically. You know, it's just bullshit.
It is bullshit, though, because if you did do that, then you left that person committing that crime over there free, and nothing's getting, you know, that doesn't make sense, because now that person's still out to do those crimes.
But if you do that multiple times, the crime rate in the city is better.
Is it really?
Yeah, all the cases are solved.
Well, you've got friends that were thieves when they were younger. They're still thieves. Like, they can't help themselves.
Not most.
Well, some of them, though. You know how they are. They just don't. They can't help themselves. Not all of them. You're right. Not all of them. But at least one of them we know just can't help himself.
I don't know what that's about, but yeah.
I mean, and that's the problem. They keep going over and over. So if he doesn't get charged, like if he was the one committing those crimes, they get somebody else to it, then he's still out there to commit those crimes. Doesn't make sense.
Right.
Just like this murder. I mean, if they've got the wrong guy in there for murder, an actual murderer.
Our court systems ain't perfect, but they're the best we got, I guess.
Yeah, I know. I'm just challenging them to do better. Is all I'm saying. I'm just saying if they. I mean, yeah, you could make a mistake. That's gonna happen. You know what I mean? But I mean, if you're gonna frickin'. After being let go, they reopened the case and found. What are they talking about now?
I don't know.
After being let go, they reopened the case and found him guilty on first-degree intentional homicide, Stephen Avery. I don't know who that is, Stephen Avery. Is that William Avery's dad?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't know who he's. I'm not exactly sure what he's talking about.
No.
I'm not sure. Or is Stephen Avery the one that was with the Nancy Smith thing?
I have no idea.
What was Nancy Smith's? Like the guy that we got to. I think it is Stephen Avery. Yeah, he was, and then he's been set free since then. Though that he's right. Originally, I think Burge did something where he got Nancy Smith and Steve Avery out, but then I think Burge ended up. I think like he lost his license over it because they said he did it the wrong way.
I don't know.
And then they just re-put Stephen Avery back in prison. And then left Nancy Smith out until recently when J.D. Tomlinson just got it all exonerated just recently.
All that shit, that's too much. I'm like, dang.
Yeah, but they left her out but had him in after that, after the whole Burge thing. But I'm not sure what happened with the Burge thing either. But I think he lost his license over it. I think whatever he did, he didn't have the jurisdiction to do, essentially, is what happened. Is from what I understand. But what that means legally, I really don't know. I'm not here to pretend I know.
Yeah,
but
I wonder if we could ever get him on here.
Who, Jim Burge? Yeah, he smokes. He'll smoke them big cigars. Yeah, Jim Burge would probably come in. Oh, Stephen Avery is making of a murderer. Oh, okay. All right. So what did he say? After being let go, reopened the case and found him guilty of first-degree intentional homicide. Yeah, okay. Stephen Avery that's who Stephen Avery is. That's the one from Macon. I knew that name sounded familiar, but I couldn't put it together. Yeah, they did. They put him in there again for a different murder, though. Correct, Johnny Newman? If I remember right, it's a whole different murder. But they think that a lot of people think that they only looked at him because the city was pissed off at him because he had gotten out already on them after they charged him with one in the first time.
I don't know nothing about it.
A lot of people think he still was guilty. I don't know. It's hard to say. But anyways, the point of the story was to talk about a little bit about the fact that Judge Ewers doesn't want to give a second trial to somebody who may very well be innocent, and it looks like is actually innocent of murder anyways. Still was a drug dealer. I don't know if that needed 30 years, but he was still a drug dealer.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, you say drug dealer, he could have been selling pot at the time. I don't know.
I don't know either, but I know he was coming from New York to here. He was going from back and forth from. I think he was a New York drug dealer, basically.
So, yeah, but did they charge him with the drug dealing? So that's kind of like he wasn't convicted of the drug dealing.
No, but the statements that were made, that were in all the court documents, said that he was selling the drugs to the girl that was found dead. And her boyfriend or the person she lived with, whatever, and that he was selling the drugs to the William Avery.
That's still really not. I don't get it. Like, you're not charging him with the drug dealing, but you're charging him with the murder.
Correct.
So it doesn't matter if he was a drug dealer or not.
I get that. I'm just saying he wasn't a great person is all I'm saying. It's not like it was a preacher that got charged with it that was doing nothing wrong. That's all I'm saying. I guess what my point is with that is like you're in that life. When you're in that life selling drugs to low lifes, you know what I'm saying? They might turn you in to get an extra $2,000 and not have to pay you, is all I'm saying.
Right.
Like you're in that lifestyle. You're living that life. That's not the life to be living.
Yeah.
You know? I don't think, anyways. Especially now. These drug dealers that I see nowadays all seem broke. What's that about? When I was a kid, like you had,
you're talking this area.
You had Andy Harkula balling out in a Mercedes and shit before he got popped, and
you mentioned all his names.
Yeah, but they got popped already. They went to prison. But Andy was balling out with the thing. Hoppy had that gym. Freaking Fred had the Corvette, the Subway, and the Pumping Iron gym and all that. They all get arrested and go to prison. You know what I mean? And now these drug dealers, they ain't even got good treads on their tires.
They probably just hiding their money better. See, they ain't been busted.
Well, maybe they ain't. I don't know. They all seem a little broke, is all I'm saying. I don't think they're doing it right, is my point. Or maybe there's too much competition. Maybe that's what it is. No money to be made.
Everywhere.
It is everywhere. It's horrible. Glad it's something I never got into. Thank God. Not even weed or any of it. You know?
All right. Well, I think we're done.
Yeah, I think we're done. I'm ready to go.
Yeah. So hopefully they do something with that city, the roads over there.
Hopefully they do something with the city, and hopefully they'll freaking
clean up that St. Joe's
and give Ohio 4 a chance.
And get them stump grounded in Oakwood Park. That looks horrible. I just went by there today and I was like, damn.
You're asking for a lot.
Hey, you're right. I'm asking for a lot. Everything should have been done when it was
They ain't done it in 20 years, but you think this one podcast you're going to make them fix
we're going to do it. We're going to do it. We're going to do it here.
Focus on one thing.
All three of those are one thing. Clean that shit up.
All right, peace.
Later.